Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Now today's video is gonna be a cranberry smoky eye. Moving on to the eyes, I'm using my Tarts Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Tan Sand. It's too light for me, so I use it only on special occasions to highlight my face. Today I'm using it because I want the colors to pop and show up on my skin tone. I'm just adding the concealer and set it with a loose powder, dusting off the excess powder, and then now taking my Jacklyn Hill palette and using that brick shade. It was too pigmented, so be careful with this palette. It's very pigmented. I had to clean up the brush and then blend the color in. Always with the eyeshadows, you can build it up rather than depositing all the color at once, because once you deposit too much color, then it'll be difficult for you to diffuse it. So you'll have to build little by little, like how I'm doing for the other eye. Taking a cool toned brown, it's not even a brown, like a shade close to my skin tone, but it's a cool toned shade. I'm adding it to my crease line. Taking a flat shader brush, I'm just depositing the cranberry shade from the palette. It's a very simple eye look. Doing the same thing to the other eye as well. I'm taking a clean fluffy brush, blending out all the edges and softening them. Sorry guys, that was my daughter. She wanted to know what I was doing. I'm just softening all the edges of the shadow. I'm happy with how it looks. Now just adding some darker brown shade to only the outer V. To deepen the outer corners. Oh, she still wants to know what I was doing. Sorry about that. I'm highlighting the inner corners with a highlighting shade from the palette. A silvery kind of shimmer shade. Moving on to the face, I'll be using the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Orange. It's an orange corrector basically. This step is essential if you have hyperpigmentation around your skin, around the mouth, your natural contours and underneath your eyes. Because this hyperpigmentation is gonna make your foundation look grey. What this orange does is it cancels out the hyperpigmentation, and when you apply the foundation on top of this, it's gonna make it look even. I'm applying it with a stippling brush at first and then picking up the excess product with my beauty sponge. Now adding a little bit of loose powder to it so that it doesn't move or crease. Very little. For my foundation today, I'll be using the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte in the shade 110 Creme Cafe. This is the perfect shade for my skin tone. I actually got the 109 shade, but then it was too dark for me and also too orange. This one oxidizes on me, so I got the 110, which was just the perfect shade. It might look a little lighter now, but then once it settles down and oxidizes, it's just the right shade for my skin tone. So anybody around my skin tone, that is in MAC, I'm NC45. Anybody who's in that skin tone, you can go for the shade 110 Creme Cafe. It also has the right amount of yellow in it, because if there's too much orange, then it's gonna look even more very unnatural for the skin tone to handle, because we Indians mostly have yellow undertones. I like the finish of this foundation because it is matte, but it also leaves a satiny finish. I felt the eyeshadow still had harsh edges, so I had to blend them and soften them more. And now the foundation's done. I'm using the concealer, the Maybelline Age Divine concealer in the shade Tan. On top of this, I'm going with the Tarts Shape Tape concealer. This Tarte shape immediately adds a lot of definition to the skin. Like, it highlights my center of my face, like boom. It's just amazing. I love it. But then I don't use it every day. The first reason will be it's too expensive and is not easily available in India. And the second thing is it's too light for my skin tone, so only on special occasions, or I want to look really bright and dramatic, then I go for this concealer. To set my concealer in place, I'm immediately adding the Laura Mercier loose powder underneath my eyes. Yes, a lot of powder, because I want my under eye to be really smooth and blurred out. This powder is basically not a baking powder, it's just a blurring powder. I know I just forgot to contour before I use the powder on. All the cream products should be before the powder, and the powder should be after all the cream product is done, because since I forgot the contouring, cream contouring, I just went over it and did it. To set that in place, I'm using my Too Faced bronzer in the shade Dark Chocolate Soleil, just to bronze up my face and add some definition to the face, to the outer perimeters. Have a chiseled cheekbone. My nose, contouring my nose using the same bronzer, and also my jawline. This does really make a huge difference in pictures. Now taking the loose powder to clean out my contour. It cleans up the contour basically. I'm not letting the powder sit for a long time because it might look cakey then, so I'm just going to dust it off quickly. Now going on to my brows, I'm just using the NYX brow gel as usual. I'm going a bit heavy handed and towards the end, and with the leftover product I'm just going light-handed towards the beginning of the brow, very slightly. I like a natural brow all the time because I never want it to be too dramatic or overdone. Yeah, dusting off the contour cleanup, it looks even more smoother and nicer. For the blush, I'm using the NYX blush in Double Dare. Just adding a little flush of color towards the outer edges, not to my apples of the cheek, because I don't want this to be really popping out because the eye is already too smoked out. And for my highlighter today, I'll be using Becca highlighter in the shade Topaz. It's a bit too dark for me, like too goldeny. It doesn't show up much on the skin, but then I added this color. It gives a very beautiful lid within. It's not visible on camera, but then in person it was very beautiful. But still, it is not enough of highlighter for me. So I went on with the Balm Bony Luminizer. This is the perfect shade. Next to my, I would compare it with my MAC Ho Darling. It's the perfect shade. For a skin tone, I would recommend this highlighter because it's the perfect goldeny, champagne highlighter. Just see how it pops. I love how it looks. Now for my lower lash line, I'm just using the darkest cranberry shade I used on the upper lids and packing the color on the under eye and the lower lashes. Adding on some more inner corner highlight because it all vanished once the foundation was done. And also highlighting my brow bone using a pencil brush. Just going over the crease color. Just diffusing the color using my fingers. For my eyeliner today, I'll be using the same NYX matte eyeliner. Just a very thin liner as usual. I would like to call it a baby wing because it's too small to be called a wing eyeliner because I don't like the dramatic ones. Maybe it doesn't suit me at least. Use small strokes to apply the liner because this one is very convenient to use since the wand is really thin. I've never felt so easy to draw winged eyeliner with anything else. I've tried almost all of it. This one is just bomb. And for my lower lashes, I'll be using the Maybelline Lasting Drama Kajal pencil in the shade brown. Why I'm using brown is that because I don't want the black to spoil the cranberry look. So I'm just adding a little color of brown For my lashes today, I'll be using the pack lashes. I've done it off camera. And to set everything in place, I'm using the Morphe setting spray. For my lips, I'm using my all-time favorite pack Infinite Kiss lip liner. It's a perfect brown. I use brown lip liner for everything other than reds because that's gonna make any color work for you. I've used the Colourpop lipstick in the shade Bumble, and this is my ritual to be followed. Any kind of makeup I wear, I keep that on me. I've used that Lotus Herbal Sindoor, liquid Sindoor, and that's all for the finished look, guys. Hope you liked it. Please subscribe to my channel and leave your suggestions in the comment section below. Thank you so much, guys.